better than you do right now is the ultimate goal. It's Friday at noon and kind of the perfect time to be here. So go ahead and just take a moment to just release, relax, maybe move around, roll out the shoulders, relax any tension that you might have in your body. And then start to find stillness and strength in your body. Finding your feet firmly planted, maybe hip width apart, maybe big toes touching, your choice. Starting to imprint your feet firmly into the floor, separating your toes and creating a nice rooted foundation into your mat. From there, lengthening the body, so building your body up by contracting your muscles, creating length. Strengthening through your midsection, your core, starting to engage those muscles to provide stability and support. Opening up your shoulder blade across the front of your body, your collarbones, drawing those shoulders down and back, creating space for an open heart or whatever your practice might bring. Finding starfish-like hands so your fingers are wide, your palms are open. You're extending them to the floor to again create more length and keeping them open. As you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. Holding this strong mountain pose, tune into your breath. What does it sound like? What does it feel like? And without trying to change anything, just acknowledge it. And recognize that yoga is kind of the string that connects all of your poses today. And so as we move, use your breath to be your guide. See if you can create strong breath that's long. Long inhales, long exhales. Initially in our practice, we want to breathe in and out through the nose to create warmth in the body. Create that internal burning fire. Your thermostat inside gets warm. And also just notice how breathing helps you relax. It gives you something to focus on so that while you're here on your mat, you're present. Present with your body, present with your breath. Whatever you might set for your intention of your practice today, keep in mind that it could be something simple like just breathe. Your next couple breaths, on those exhales, give yourself the visual of letting go. Letting go of expectations, letting go of judgment, letting go of any competition. Yoga is about you being proud of what your body can do. And just acknowledging where it is today. On your next inhale, let that movement. Eyes can open and your arms extend, lifting up overhead, reaching in all directions towards the ceilings, the side wall, and the floor. Continuing at your pace. Again, using your breath and now your body to create heat, to create warmth, and to just enjoy the movement, warming up the joints. On your next inhale, keep those arms lifted overhead, lift and lengthen, imprinting to the floor, lengthening the torso. If it feels comfortable, you can gaze up at the ceiling at your fingertips. On your exhale, let your left hand come down, right arm lifts and extends as you lengthen through the right side of the body. Inhale to switch, left arm extends, right arm lowers towards the floor. Both are active. Continue one more time on each side, finding length in your side body, making your arms and legs as long as they've been today. On your next exhale, release, arms come behind you. Open up through the chest and shoulders, another space where we tend to hold tightness. If you'd like, you can clasp the fingers. If you'd like, you can soften the knees and start to hinge forward, really focusing on that open chest, not worrying about much else at this point. Inhale to bring yourself up, releasing those arms and drawing those shoulders back, maintaining that position. Feet come shoulder width apart or just outside of your mat width. Coming into our sunflower pose, we start hinging at the hips, taking those glutes glutes back, coming into a nice squat-like position. Weight should be spread out in your feet, but you should be able to wiggle your toes. Arms can come out wide, so again, we maintain that open chest, broad upper body, and we start to move. Inhaling to lift and lengthen, exhaling to sink. Finding your range of motion that works for you. Again, moving throughout the whole body at your pace with your breath. We are trying to create heat, and this is where the fitness component comes in, is that we do fitness-like movements. If you'd like, you can take this to sunflower, inhaling to lift, exhaling, fingertips brush towards the floor. We maintain that strong core so our back stays flat. We lift and lengthen, sinking down towards the floor, through the heels. Nice, big, full body movements. Welcome in your practice. One more big sunflower or moonflower, if that's where you are. And then exhale, coming to the front of your mat. Finding yourself in mountain again, feet hip width apart for good stability. Starting to work on our sun salutation. Big inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, swan dive forward, softening the knees as you take your chest towards your thighs. Hands can come to the floor, they can come to your shins, or anywhere they can connect with the body. Exhale to fully release the upper body, the head and neck. Soften those knees. Go ahead and inhale, lift and lengthen all the way up tall. Repeat a few times with your breath. Exhale, swan dive forward. Each time you come into this forward fold, maybe you sink a little bit deeper as you start to warm up through those hamstrings, through the back of the body. Always feeling comfortable, keeping a soft bend in the knees if you'd like. Holding a position if it feels like you have tension in the body. On your next forward fold, hold that bottom position, maybe pedaling out the feet, alternating, bending one knee and the other, lengthening through the back of the legs. Acknowledge the back of the upper body as well, and try to look back behind you. Relax the head and neck. Maybe shake it side to side, maybe not in front to back. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins, flat back. This is our modified forward fold. Drawing your shoulder blades back and together, you create a nice flat spine. Reaching your hips to the back of the room and your crown of the head forward. Exhale, release, forward fold. Softening the knees, hands come to the floor, stepping back into a child's pose. Knees come down to the floor, extending the hips back towards the heels. Let the chest drop to the floor. You can relax your forehead onto the floor. If at any time throughout the practice today something doesn't feel good, child's pose is always an option. We're going to use downward facing dog throughout the practice, and if you want at any time, you can always choose this extended child's pose. Inhale, go ahead and come up onto all fours. Find your palms under your shoulders, knees under your hips for cat-cow. On the inhale, we lift and lengthen. Chest lifts forward, eyes gaze up. We tilt that tailbone. On your exhale, chin comes to the chest as you round out through the spine and tuck your tailbone under. Continue with your breath. Inhaling to find length. Exhaling as you round out. Trying to work through your entire spine. Taking that through the neck down to the tailbone. And if there's a spot that you feel tight, you can hold. Maybe you can wiggle side to side. Otherwise, you're trying to maintain movement through the spine only, keeping your shoulders and hips level and stable. Start acknowledging your core as you do this movement, so that throughout our practice, when we hold our poses, you can have a nice, strong midsection. On your next breath, go ahead and find neutral pose. Abdominals engaged to, again, maintain those shoulders and hips in a stable position. On your next inhale, we'll go into spinal balance. Right arm extends, left leg extends. Reaching towards the front of the room and the back of the room. We hold for a moment on that long breath to create that work through the stability. Exhale to release. Inhale, opposite limb. Left arm, right leg. Reach and extend. Exhale to release. Continuing a few times at your own pace. Maintaining that long, strong breath. Try to maintain a strong torso so only your limbs are moving. Keeping the eyes gazing down at the floor in front of you so we have a nice neutral neck. make the body as long as it can be. Rather than thinking about reaching up towards the ceiling, think about reaching to the front of the room and the back of the room. On your next exhale, go ahead and extend back, extended child's pose. Moving on to our modified half series. Inhale, coming up into a modified plank position. Palms are over the shoulders. Now we have a nice flat back, slightly more forward than we are in tabletop. So we come slightly forward. On the exhale, we're going to keep the elbows close to the body as we lower towards the floor. Inhale, press up. Exhale, press back. Continuing at your own pace. Inhaling, plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, press back. Through your breath, you're creating warmth through this movement. Again, fitness yoga looks like a push-up. But don't push yourself, just move at a rhythm that feels good. Keeping your core strength as you lower so that your hips and shoulders lower at the same rate. Hold an extended child's pose for a moment and we're going to add on. You can maintain this modified position, or if you'd like to come into full plank, you can. Inhale to plank position if you'd like on your toes. Exhale to lower. Palms stay by your chest as you inhale, lift in cobra. Feet stay on the floor as you lengthen through the spine. Exhale, press back, extended child's pose. Repeat one more time. Inhaling into plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, press back. From here, go ahead and curl your toes under if you're not there. Let's extend up into downward facing dog. Pressing the hips up towards the ceiling, your chest back towards your thighs. Feel free to pedal out your feet by dropping one knee and the other, looking into the back of the legs, the hamstrings and the calves. Think about bringing your head between your arms so that you really lengthen through the spine, through the back of the body. Hands firmly imprinting into the floor. Explore your downward facing dog. We use it a lot in the practice. So each time you come here, see if you can experience a unique pose in your downward facing dog. Inhale, coming into plank position on your toes or on your knees. Exhale to lower in one straight line. Inhale to lift, cobra, or if you'd like, you can extend up into upward facing dog. Feet stay on the floor, thighs come off. It's almost like an arm balance. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. One more time through this vinyasa flow. Inhale, plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, press back. Inhale, lift and extend your right leg behind you, lunging it forward. Letting that back knee come to the floor if you'd like. Inhale, lift and lengthen, kneeling lunge. Or if you'd like, you can curl that back toe under and do crescent lunge. Either way, we make sure that knee's directly over the ankle. We work on a long back leg. Our back knee should be under our hip if we're kneeling. And we work on extension through the upper body. Core is contracted to maintain a nice, stable body, and our back stays flat. Exhale, go ahead and release, pressing back, downward facing dog. Inhale, extend your left leg behind you, reaching it long, lunging it forward. Opposite side, kneeling lunge or crescent lunge. Wherever you are with your lunge, think about sinking your hips, contracting your glutes to push forward. Really open up through that hip flexor. On your next breath, exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Hold downward facing dog, or if you'd like, you can do a vinyasa flow, which would be your plank, crocodile to lower, cobra, or upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Inhale, stepping to the front of your mat, forward fold. Exhale here. Inhale, flat back, hands come to your shins, gaze forward. Exhale to release. Soften those knees, inhale to lift and lengthen, all the way up to mountain pose. Exhale. Adding on, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to the floor, stepping back, plank position. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Extending your right leg back, lunging forward. This time, letting your back heel come to the floor for warrior one, lifting and lengthening up tall. Find that nice long body and exhale, work on sinking through the hips. or staying exactly where you're at. We're trying to make our hips parallel to the front of the room. So squaring them up to the front of the room. Work on keeping those shoulders straight ahead, finding length through the fingertips. A nice long back leg, feeling the outer edge of that back foot firmly on the floor. Inhale, open up into warrior two. Arms extend to the front and back of the room. Watching that front knee stays over your baby toes. We find length in the body. Shoulders stay directly over our hips. Abdominals engaged to create that strong midsection. Inhale, extend forward and come up into reverse warrior. Left hand on the back thigh, right arm right out of the shoulder. Finding length through that right side of the body, all the way down from the hip, which is pushing to the floor, to the fingertips, which is reaching to the ceiling. Inhale, warrior two. Cartwheeling forward, press back, downward facing dog. Lift and extend, left leg behind you, lunging it forward. Warrior one, opposite heel comes to the floor. As you find warrior one, make sure your front heel and your back heel are in alignment. Adjust if needed. Turning your back toes slightly inward, rotate your body to the front of the room. If it's comfortable, feel comfortable gazing up at the ceiling, as long as it's not too much stress on your neck. It also gives you a moment to get away from the mirror and what your pose looks like, and turn your energy inward. What does your pose feel like? It's the most important part of your yoga practice. Inhale, open up wide, warrior two. As you open up and extend to the front and the back of the room, also let your hips open up to that wall with the cubbies. So you find nice length through your groin, through your inner thigh. Inhale, extending forward, find reverse warrior, left hand to the ceiling. Right hand is on that back leg, only for a little balance, not for support. We engage the abdominals to keep us up strong, continuing to sink through those strong legs. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheeling forward, press back, downward facing dog. Holding downward facing dog or vinyasa flow if you would like. Stepping or hopping to the front of your mat. Inhale, modified forward fold, flat back. Exhale, release, forward fold. Soften the knees, inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, sink in chair pose. Hands can extend in front, up towards the ceiling, or they can open up wide. Our goal is to sit as if we're in a chair, so our hips go back. Those knees aren't extending past the toes, and we just work on sinking as low as we can. A lot of work is happening here, so be mindful that you're breathing. Inhale, lift and lengthen. One last time, sun salutation. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stepping back, plank position. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, press back. Inhale, right leg lunges back. Bring it forward, warrior one. Inhale, warrior two. Extend forward and back, reverse warrior. Adding on one more here. Inhale, coming down to side angle. So our right elbow comes onto our right thigh, left hand reaches right out of that shoulder joint. Again, watching that front knee, that it stays out wide over the toes. If you'd like, you can extend that front arm towards the floor, or just keep it on your elbows as long as your abdominals are engaged to hold you tall. Inhale, lift, warrior two. Cartwheeling forward, pressing back, downward facing dog. Opposite leg, lift and extend behind you, lunging forward, warrior one. If any of these transitions take a few extra steps, that's perfectly normal. So just take your time with your body. Inhale, warrior two. Extending forward, reverse warrior. Lift and lengthen towards the ceiling, sinking towards the floor. And again, side angle. Elbow onto that thigh, extending up through the right hand. Trying to keep your body square so your shoulders are stacked, your hips are aligned. Inhale, warrior two. Cartwheeling forward, pressing back. Downward facing dog, holding or vinyasa flow. Child's pose is always an option here as well. It's Friday. If you need rest, acknowledge that, take that. Check in with your body. Inhale, step or hop to the front of your mat. Long spine, flat back. Exhale, release, forward fold. Soften knees, inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands go down your heart center. Taking a moment to pause. Take a moment of reflection of where you're at, how you're doing. Maybe let yourself smile. Check in with your breath. Come back to your intention for today. Go ahead and release and relax. We're going to go ahead and start with pyramid pose. So go ahead and keep your right foot forward. You're going to take a small step back with your left. So smaller than when we do the warrior series. Toes are going to still come slightly inward, and we're going to rotate our body to the front of the room. Hands can be behind your back, either facing down towards your feet. You can cross your elbows, or you can reach up towards the ceiling. Wherever you feel strong and comfortable now, it doesn't feel like a struggle, okay? So as we start to fold, it's going to be more challenging, so make it comfortable to start. From here, you're going to think about lengthening the body. So really think about reaching the crown of the head to the ceiling, and on your exhale, you're going to start hinging at the hips to extend the torso. Only come to the point where you can maintain that flat back, so you're constantly reaching the hips to the back and reaching the crown of the head forward. Having the arms in this bind position behind you helps you open up the chest. Notice that strong sensation on your right leg on those hamstrings, and be mindful if you need to soften the knee, please do. On your next exhale, feel free to fold forward if you'd like, releasing the crown of the head to the floor, and getting a little more sensation in the back of the leg, maybe into the back of the body. Continuing to breathe. On the next exhale, go ahead and release your hands to the floor, letting yourself just melt forward over that leg. Again, softening the knee if you need to. Relax the head and neck. Bringing your hands slightly in front of your foot, we're going to move into a balancing position. We're going to go to balancing half moon. So think about a nice, strong, firm right leg. Shifting your weight, extend your left leg behind you. You can keep your hands on the floor and balance right here. Or if you'd like, keep your right hand on the floor and rotate your hips to the side room and left hand to the left hip. You can stay there, or if you'd like, you can extend that left hand to the ceiling. Arms reaching in opposite directions, left leg reaching to the back of the room. Pushing through your heels so your toes are coming towards your shin. Contracting your abdominals to create that strong point of balance. Focusing your eyes to help with your balance. Continuing to breathe to stay present. On your next exhale, releasing your hand. Go ahead and exhale, release your leg, forward fold. On your next inhale, round your spine, coming all the way up tall, one vertebrae at a time.